20 years ago, a new building commenced construction here at the bottom of Deansgate on the site of an old railway arch. This video is about the Hilton Tower, or the Hilton Tower, or the Hilton Tower, or whatever you like to call it. It's symbolic that the tower was built on the site of a section of railway viaduct that carried goods trains in and out of the Great Northern Railway's goods warehouse. The new arose from a relic of Manchester's railway past. I took my first picture of the site on a sunny Saturday in November 2004 and went on to track the construction in still images. This was 3 months before the launch of a certain video sharing platform called YouTube. While the railways extended outwards from Manchester, the Beetham rose upwards into the sky. John Sunya, writing for the Financial Times, did an interview with Ian Simpson and described it as the UK's first proper skyscraper outside London. Whether by night or by day, it was incredible to see this tall tower emerge. It was 4 decades since the completion of the Sunley Tower, now City Tower, in 1965, and the CIS Tower in '62. The Beetham Tower has attracted both praise and criticism. It's won architectural awards, but some have called it hideous and no more than a glass box. Others said it was too tall, though what's the purpose of a tall building other than to be tall? They criticised the overhang on the north side. Why do I have to have that sticky out bit? I've heard that Ian Simpson explained that the floor area for a hotel is narrower than for an apartment building, so that's why they needed the overhang. Effectively, it's one building on top of another, with separate entrances. It's the Hilton Manchester Deansgate Hotel from ground level up to the luxurious Sky Bar Cloud 23. Above that, it's an apartment building containing 219 apartments and 6 penthouses. 169 metres or 554 feet tall to the top of the glass facade overrun, or glass blade, which also serves as a lightning conductor. During construction, I thought it might be good for a Tokyo-style neon advertising board. Soon after it was completed, people noticed an eerie hum coming from the tower. That was caused by the wind whistling through the blade. It can still be heard. Listen via the link below. The building originally cost £150 million. I'm not sure of its present value. Today, it is owned by the Monaco-based billionaire, originally from Cyprus, Yanakis Christodoulou, who goes by the name of John. The Beetham Tower has a plain and simple design, unlike down in London, the curvy Gherkin, the walkie-talkie, and even Ian Simpson's own One Blackfriars residential building, nicknamed the Vase or the Boomerang. So what's the reason for this very basic design? Well, I once went to a presentation by Ian Simpson, at which I briefly met him. I remember him telling us the story of how the tower came about. He said that unexpectedly there was an opportunity to build a skyscraper in Manchester, but time and money were limited. Rather than just turning it down, they seized the opportunity. They had to do what they could within the limited budget and time available, and the tower we see today was the result. It was topped out on the 26th of April 2006. Due to wind conditions, they had to reduce the height from 171 to 169 metres. The hotel opened on the 9th of October 2006. Residents moved into the apartments during 2007. People often complain about unadventurous designs and ask why we can't have more ambitious towers that display greater creativity. But the main reason seems to be money. Ambition and creativity don't come cheap. In London, budgets are big. However, I'm confident that as the Manchester building boom continues, budgets will grow. So will the buildings, both in height and in complexity of design. The Beetham Tower is the one that started off the present building boom, which was delayed first due to the economic crash and later the pandemic. So who are Simpson Hough? And my sincerest apologies for mispronouncing Hough in past videos. Simpson Hough, formerly Ian Simpson Architects, was set up in 1987 by Ian Simpson and Rachel Hough. Their first project was a simple 3-bed white house in a garden in Hale. For the first 10 years, the practice didn't make a profit. Ian Simpson taught architecture at Manchester University, enabling the practice to stay afloat. And at this point, we'll look at some views I took from the top of the tower during its construction. I was lucky enough to be invited to go onto the site by a senior member of the construction team who read my Eyewitness in Manchester website. On one of the pages I'd written that I'd love to go to the top of the Beetham Tower. Back to Simpson Hough. Ian Simpson has said that Rachel Huff is fundamental to the success of the practice. In 2014, they rebranded as Simpson Huff and Partners, the two surnames together, no space. In the 1990s, they got involved in a group focusing on the regeneration of Manchester and went on to design many major projects including Urbis, No. 1 Deansgate, the Beetham and Deansgate Square, as well as projects in London and beyond. They have offices in London and Manchester. Rachel Huff attended Marple Hall School and studied architecture at the University of Bath. She has worked on the Hilton Tower, One Blackfriars, Battersea Power Station and numerous other projects. What about Ian Simpson? Well, he grew up in Haywood, part of Rochdale to the northeast of Manchester, studied architecture at Liverpool Polytechnic and was lucky enough to work with Sir Norman Foster, also from Manchester, at Foster and Partners, where he met Rachel Huff. They set up their practice in 1987. They've come a long way since then. Ian Simpson lives in the penthouse apartment at the top of the Hilton Tower with his wife and son. It's nice to live in the tower that you designed yourself. And these are the views they enjoy by day and by night. Likewise, Rachel Huff moved into No. 1 Deansgate. Information from Wikipedia and the Financial Times article, links below. Talking about his London projects, Ian Simpson's words could equally apply to Manchester. He says, "They are not vanity projects. We have 999-year leases on our buildings, so they are built to last. Architects have to seize the moment. Building booms don't come about often. London has to embrace change or it'll be left behind as a world city. In 20 or 30 years' time, it will run out of space. We need to build vertically and we need to build big. Why build 60 homes on a site when you can build 600? Quoted from the article by John Sunya in the Financial Times, link below, and there's a paywall. And now we jump forward to the present day. New neighbours have started to encroach on the Hilton Tower. That's inevitable, but there are still great views. Right in front of it, the Stay City Apartments Tower is under construction, but it seems to have stalled. I've not seen any activity recently. It's inevitable that as a city develops, buildings that once stood on their own will be joined by others. Best to think of them as new companions. The Beetham is very conveniently located right next to Deansgate railway station and Deansgate Castlefield tram stop. That's the footbridge linking the two. Seen from Whitworth Street West, there's still plenty of space around it. That's Viadux 1 on the right, which is almost the same height. The Hilton Tower has had some technical issues. In September 2023, a glass panel fell onto the street. That was onto Great Bridgewater Street, below the north facade of the tower. And in 2019, there was a report that the tower was, quote, in a state of disrepair, unquote, and that the windows needed fixing. I've not been able to find any updates on this problem. By the way, the Beetham has some windows you won't normally see. These are the ones at the bottom of the pool. If you go into the entrance lobby to the flats on Great Bridgewater Street and look up, you'll see them in the ceiling, and if you're lucky you might see a swimmer. Please note the swimming pool, gym and sauna are part of the hotel. Residents can use them, but they have to pay. By the way, the information I'm providing here, it's so that we can better understand the construction boom that's going on and the people behind it. I'll be providing facts about other architects in future videos and maybe even interviews if they'll speak to a humble YouTuber. I have my own opinions on buildings, but I will only be revealing them in my members only videos. Yes, I'm about to switch on channel membership with 3 tiers. I'm going to do director's commentary style versions of videos, including this one, with my off-the-cuff comments, opinions, anecdotes and behind-the-scenes facts. In the members-only version of this video, I'm going to talk about every photo, where it was taken from, and I'll provide other insights, including outtakes. Take a look to see if channel membership is switched on. Please join if you can and support what I'm doing, and find out my true opinions about the buildings. So what about the views from the tower? I was lucky enough to be invited to visit some of the apartments by someone who watches my channel. There was a wow factor as I walked from the door up to the windows to admire the very dramatic view of a misty Manchester city centre. On some days, visibility can be 0, or you might be able to look down onto the mist. Next door to the east is Viadux 2. Quite close, makes me think of that movie starring Cary Grant, Rear Window. I love the ambient sound of the city coming through the ventilation grills. Have a listen. There are no balconies in these apartments on the northern side. I returned on a clear day and experienced the wow factor once again. It's great to have that view. It beats an interior wall with kitschy wallpaper and 3 flying ducks. One person I know told me that after a while living in the tower, he got used to the view and didn't miss it when he moved out. I love looking out over the city. Oh yes, and I need to mention my gigantic photograph that I took from the top of the tower in 2006, the Manchester Megaphoto. It was displayed at Urbis in 2008 and 2009. I've already done a video about this, link above and at the end. From this vantage point, I can look out at nearly all the buildings I've featured so far in my videos. You can watch the Manchester building boom in progress 24/7. The rental cost of the apartments is perhaps not as high as you might expect, especially when split between 2 people, but the larger ones on the south side of the building cost more. On Rightmove, I saw an apartment added on the 26th of January 2024, a triplex apartment with 4 double bedrooms occupying the 44th, 45th and 46th floors. Each floor has a private terrace space. The price? £2 million. As the Manchester Evening News reported, this is the apartment owned by former Manchester United footballer Phil Neville. He's been trying to sell the, as the article says, flat for 15 years. He started off at £4 million. This year it started off at £2,750,000. Then they reduced it down to £2 million, but it still hasn't found a buyer. Previously, it was rented out at £15,000 per month. Down at street level, problems such as homelessness, a housing shortage, and in many parts of the city, poverty, seem like another world. Well, I could stay up here all day and all night, showing you the views, but I need to get home to start doing the preliminary work on this video. From the apartment on the northwest corner, the view west towards the Vista River Gardens Tower, under construction, is breathtaking. Currently the sun is visible through the unfinished floors as it moves slowly down over Salford. Very impressive, but a much taller tower, possibly the tallest in the city region, may soon start to appear rising from the Regent Road site just beyond. What's that going to look like? Keep watching Aid Eyewitness. Let's finish with a visit to the Hilton Hotel Bar, Cloud 23. It's worth splashing out on a cocktail, or in my case, a bottle of Belgian beer, to gaze out at the views towards the south. The Metrolink trams down below and the traffic on the Mancunian Way look like toys. It's like being at Miniatur Wunderland in Hamburg, though Manchester is not represented there. The 4 Deansgate Square towers stand like monoliths, the lights of the apartments glittering in the twilight. So please like, subscribe, share and comment. To support what I'm doing, you can buy me a coffee, link below. And watch out for my channel membership options. They should be visible below now or very soon. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und auf Wiedersehen in Manchester.